Hi guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries again. Today, tonight, AM, PM, Pacific Standard Time, USA. Anyway, you guys, I preview tonight as the zine scene. Okay, so we're talking, and we're trying, we're talking zine as in magazine, obviously. So zine scene, the whole scene surrounding the consumption of this magazine. I'm going to show you the examples. This is just one of many. I saved over a year's worth because I wrote for half of them. The other half, which we'll talk about mostly, not my writings of it, I think we've already touched on that, is the whole build-up and the whole era period setting the stage for this period of time with no internet, right? So here's one that I'm going to show you the inside of, because I actually have a 3-page spread in this one. When I sort of hit my zenith as a drag queen, this has Brian Austin Green on the cover, ice skating. You should see some of the other covers. They really push the envelope and would never pass muster today. So again, setting the stage, 93, early 90s, there was no internet to speak of, none. What we basically had was AOL, and then these like kind of weird browser things that all disappeared over time, Sierra something. My first one was like completely insufferable. So AOL is the kind of thing, as you probably heard, takes 5 minutes to capture the internet. And oftentimes you couldn't, and you had to kind of start from the beginning. All we had for the most part was chat rooms. We didn't have like all of these resources. There was no Google. You basically went on and like did a chat room kind of Pong. So the only way, LGBT or otherwise, mostly, leaning LGBT, but not entirely, was the zine scene. So in other words, all we had was LA Weekly before the zine scene. Now, I'm not saying we were the first to have little periodicals, because they were all free, sitting outside of places. Of course we were not the first. But with no internet and with only the LA Weekly to rely on. Now, the LA Weekly was comprehensive in its own way, but it did not lean LGBT at all for the most part. Really, kind of at all. Because I took out ads, as we've discussed in the LA Weekly, through this period of skater dater. So there was this proliferation of these little or larger size paper magazines, and again, there you go. So there were about maybe 5 of them, tops. There were the top ones. Planet H, I can't say the OMO part. Yes Magazine, Forefront Magazine, Spunk Magazine, and Odyssey. Wait till I tell you about Odyssey. So, I'm doing phone sex. That was, as we all know, my job before, the county job, as, putting in all of my training with CDC, clinical hours down the road. So I'm doing phone sex, and, I was an operator, then I was a verifier, then I was the supervisor. Verifier just makes sure that the FCC wasn't going to barge in and close everything down, listening to calls. So I'm doing this. The only reading material really is like somebody brought in one of these zines, but it kind of was not, I did not employ ladies that would kind of go for that. But anyway, it ended up in one of our 2 offices, Marina Del Rey and Van Nuys. And I started and it was a Spunk magazine, which is what this is. And I started flipping through and flipping through and flipping through. And then I shifted into the county job. Just as I shifted into the county job, I got an apartment away from Hollywood Boulevard. Beautiful place right above Tower Records, which we've discussed. I went to a yard sale, and the gentleman was going to Hawaii, and I came back later. We were intimate, and I got the apartment.